everybody. Welcome to Two Putts Podcast. I'm Jake Landry.
Look off here.
And it's the summer season, so we're here, but you know we're living it up, Ja Rule style, if you will. Probably not actually. I'm sure there's something out there about
no one knows what you said.
Yeah.
No one knows what you said.
Okay, yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so the Celtics won the championship. Woo! Exciting. I mean, we're both Celtics fans. Obviously, our fandom's a little bit different. You know, I'm more of a objective thinker, anthropologist,
already
scholar of the world, and you're a little bit more of what we call like a fanboy, like a green teamer, bleed green. The whole
I'm
thing.
a viber.
You're a viber. So anyway, but here's
the vibes were high, man.
Well, let's say this. Great job for the Celtics. They finally overcame. They were dominant all season. In the playoffs, every time they were tested, which maybe wasn't a ton, but when there were tests, they passed the tests. Good for them. They got their first championship. And listen, like, they deserve it. Like, they deserve to be, they're of that stature.
Agreed. Yeah. I think, I mean, as a Celtics fan, it was nice to like not very stressful series, but as like a basketball fan, 5 games in the finals is very, and that's back-to-back years where it's been 5 games, and it's very like, ugh, dude, it's not even close.
No, yeah.
So, it was an anticlimactic end to a season. It wasn't a close game to close it out. They were in control the whole game, and I don't know. It was fun. I'm glad they won, but it's very much like, all right, I'm ready for next year.
Dude, and
they should have won. I agree.
Exactly. And I'm going to give it to you. You love my metaphors, so I got a nice one I wrote down for you. I even wrote it down for you, okay? But basically,
wow, dude.
Basically, and I don't write stuff down. But it's like this. It's like you go over someone's house, and they serve you a really great first dish. Like a really small plate of something super delicious. Like, it's great. It's amazing. But, like, if you get the vibe that you're not getting enough, like, more food, it's kind of like, well, but we're not done, right? You know what I mean? And that's what this is like. It's like, I'm so happy. And the other thing, and I'll just say with this is different, too, because ever since the Golden State collapse, which, again, like, is fine in the trajectory of at least 2 championships, maybe 3, everything's going to be great. It's going to make for a great story. But where we are at this present moment is I'm going to expand on the metaphor. We went to a restaurant. We had a really bad experience. We went back and had a really bad experience a second time. Didn't even make it to the finals. Are you talking about the last year only going to 5 games? Yeah, it's because the Celtics blew it. And the Heat, who, I'm sorry, are not a finals-worthy team, were in the finals against the Nuggets, and there you go. We went back for a 3rd time, and finally we got served a very good appetizer. But they're not done yet. We need more. And here's my feeling. Next year is mandatory. Like, next year's not a question. Because if you don't make it... now, listen, if we're talking about a major injury to, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, different story. But if everyone's healthy, and I'm not even talking about Porzingis, if Jason and Jaylen are healthy, and with the supporting cast that they have right now, forget about Porzingis, because let's be honest, yes, he was a factor in Game 1. Are the Celtics still winning that series without Porzingis? Yes or no?
Yeah.
It's not even a question.
Probably.
It's not even a question. So, for me, Nick, next year is like that. That's bait. That has to happen. There's no excuse not to win next year. And I know that's a lot to put on a team.
You know how hard it is to win back-to-back championships?
But tell me who... Okay, so tell me... take the Celtics out of it. What other team is of the caliber of the Celtics?
Humming?
Yeah, like, what other team would be the one...
The only one that, like, comes to mind, and I is the Nuggets.
Is the Denver Nuggets,
they're the best player in the world.
Sure, and that's fine. That's fine. If they face
say,
the Nuggets, Game 7, different conversation. But, okay, let me put it this way. You have to be in the finals next year. That's without question.
I agree. I think they should come out of the East. I think it's going to be – I think the Sixers are going to load up. They have, like, they can sign a max player. I think Giannis and Dame are going to be better. I feel like you have
Dame
to be
just
better than
hates
they
his
were.
life so bad right now in Milwaukee. I don't know. I hope
No,
so.
he wanted to go to Miami.
Yeah.
He was open and honest about it. He wanted to go to Miami. I don't think Miami's a threat. I know my buddy doesn't listen to this podcast, but he's a big Heat fan, and he's like, "Well, we didn't have Jimmy." I'm like, "Dude, you could have had Jesus on that floor, and we were going to win."
Jimmy. I mean, listen, love Jimmy Butler, but the Celtics should not be losing to the Heat.
I think the Celtics should come out of the East. Now, the West is loaded. Like, I think the Timberwolves are going to get a year better. Anthony Edwards understands. I think the Mavs are good. I think there's going to be moves that are going to be made. If we took what the teams look like right now, and that was going to be the teams next year, I think, the Celtics probably could repeat or should repeat. They're the best team. But because of free agency, I think, I don't know, repeating so hard, man. And no one likes the Celtics, so everyone's going to want to come and get them.
I hear that, but with you. But given how the last years have gone, the only way you could make up for, especially last year, Golden State, fine if you want to give it to Curry and take away the chokiness and just give it to the Warriors, like, that's what you do. And I get that, Nick. Like, that's how you like to roll. You don't like to speak negatively. You'd rather encourage the positive on the other side. Listen, is it honest? It's not. But it's what you like to do, and I get that. If we want to do that, that's fine. But last year, there's no way you can be like, well, the Heat just stood up, dude. Come on.
No, I agree. I agree. It was the Heat shot 60%. Like, you're gonna get annoyed, but no team was gonna beat them in that series. Dude, they shot like 80% from three. And then the Celtics were gonna win the game. Like, they were going to win Game 7, and then Jason Tatum rolled his ankle.
That was that was such a brutal moment right there, especially with the Derek White tip in the game before. Oh my gosh, dude.
No, and it was just like you could feel the momentum, and then Jason Tatum rolled his ankle, and it was like,
it's over.
We lost.
He rolled his ankle, and then Jaylen Brown went down and hit the ball off his knee and turned it over, and you're like, oh lordy, we're really in trouble.
Yeah, that happened. I turned the TV off. I said, the game's over. The Heat are going to the finals.
It's 3 minutes into the first quarter. It's like, oh yikes. Oh yeah, I think
we'll see. I mean, as a Celtics fan, it'd be cool to go back to back, but it's tough, man. I think they should come out of the East.
Let me hit you with this.
And I think
Marcus Smart being traded away. Can we agree? Because I will say that with the Heat loss and stuff, Marcus Smart was on that team. I'd love to know how many shots and threes he threw up in that Heat series. And if you took those possessions and you gave those shots to someone else.
Here's what I'm going to say about Marcus Smart.
All right. I see.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Marcus Smart was a liability. All right? I'll admit it. He was a liability. What I'm happy about having Drew Holiday is now we can stop pretending that Marcus Smart was better than Drew Holiday.
Yes.
That whole narrative on the Celtics fan, stop. He was never better. But I love Marcus Smart. I'm a Marcus Smart fanboy, as you say. But I will say, like, in the finals of 2022, when Curry hit a three in his face, dude, you knew exactly what Marcus Smart was going to come down to do. He was going to come down and chuck it. He was like, dude, he was a liability, but, dude, he was a heart guy. I'm a big heart guy.
Me too.
He hustles.
And I think Marcus Smart had his time in Boston with the Bridgie Celtics. Like the Bridge Celtics with Jared Sullinger and Jay Crowder and Avery Bradley. Those were good times, dude. Like, those were the times where it was like, dang, like, Paul Pierce is gone. Kevin Garnett is gone. What are we going to get? And we got, I thought, some really great years of, like, scrappiness, like being that scrappy team. That was great. But once we ascended to where we are now, this is a championship team. And now we can fully say that. But for the last 2 years, this has been very close to a championship team. And I just think Marcus Smart, if we really go back again to the
I mean, you're
Golden
right.
State series. If we go back to the Golden State series and that whole run, and what people have said, and this is, I think, maybe one of the most important things, and there's not a lot of, let's say, maybe like physical evidence. This is definitely speculative, but I think it's interesting. Jaylen Brown, because you remember in the bubble, there was the throwing chairs story when I think they lost to the Heat that year in the bubble when LA won the championship, the Lakers, and they were like throwing chairs in the locker room and da-da-da-da-da. Jaylen Brown, who I have gone back and forth because I loved him so much when he first came in the league, and I'm high on him now, obviously, easy to be, but he's a guy who is a scholar like me. Him and I have very similar personalities. Like, he wants to be listen. Well, listen. I mean, it's just what it is. But I
think he'd beat you in chess.
Oh, he'd definitely beat me. He'd beat me in a lot of things. There's no doubt about that. But Jaylen Brown needed to have his voice heard and needed to be able to be, I think, at key moments, the voice in the locker room. And I really think it's not hard to imagine times where it's like stuff happened, going back again to the year with Golden State and even last year, and like the moment coming where it's like time for someone to say something in the locker room, and Jaylen Brown takes the breath, and then Marcus Smart goes, "Listen, guys," and he's like, "God damn it, Marcus again." So I think Marcus being gone largely it has to do with off the court, to be honest. And I as much as we've been critical of Joe Mazzulla, with Marcus being gone, and I mean, I don't know, do you remember this savage quote from Marcus Smart last year where he came out and he goes, "People have been criticizing Joe, rightly so. They've been killing him, and it's like, Marcus, dude, shut up. Like, you're not, like, look, all the things we could say about Joe Mazzulla, Marcus Smart doesn't understand his place. Much like me. I can understand these things, but I can understand them. But I think that this change was a really important change for the Celtics, and I'm glad you feel that way, dude. So good for you. Good for you, dude.
Well, and not only, I agree, actually 100%. Like, even in those mic'd up moments of the finals this year, like, Jaylen Brown was the talker instead of Marcus Smart. But I think, like, as much as the team loved Marcus Smart, he's not your best or second best player talking. He's your fifth best player. So, like, when Jaylen is doing it, dude, that's our second best player. Like, I mean, I can't say anything. I also will say Drew was just ahead, and like he was an upgrade on the court as well.
Oh,
like,
no doubt.
I know Marcus Smart has a defensive player of the year, but Drew is a better defender. Drew is a better, like.
Can I say,
like,
Marcus Smart
needed the ball.
Marcus Smart is more like a Tasmanian devil defender, and Drew is more just like a sentinel, like, guard tower defender. Like, he's just solid.
Yeah.
And Marcus Smart's a little too, like.
Yeah, no, and
yeah.
And Marcus Smart, like, he wanted to be the playmaker. Drew was like, dude, I'll if you need me to score 20 tonight, I will. If you need me to score 4 and play defense and play off ball, I will. And, like, Tatum, as poorly as he shot in the finals, was very effective playmaking. Like, I felt like he had 10 or 11 assists every game.
As poorly as he shot, he was great throughout the finals. Agreed. Like, was very solid all around play.
And if he wasn't shooting well and Marcus Smart was on the team, I think we still would have won the series. I think we were just that much better than the Mavericks, but I think it would have gone 6 or 7 because, as much as it pains me to say it, Marcus Smart would have played us out of games.
Thank you.
Like when we were up 20, like game 1, when we were up 20, and they came storming back and brought it with an 8, Marcus Smart would have just done what he does.
Yeah, he would have shot up 3 threes, and then all of a sudden they're up by 1, and he decides to take one more 3 just in case that's the one that might go down. Yeah.
No, dude, I hate to agree with you, bro. I hate to agree with you.
We lived it, dude.
You're right, dude. He was perfect for the bridge.
Yeah.
And then, like, elevating them to a championship contender, but he was never gonna help them get over the hump.
Yeah, it's like
I agree, and I hate to say it.
I know. I'm sorry. And look.
All right, don't be careful what you say about New England Clam Crowder now. That is my king.
Jay Crowder.
Be careful what you say.
I'm just gonna say this. Of all the connections that I've had, like, Jay Crowder, like, I mean, Jared Sullinger had a connection with that guy. But Who cares about Jay Crowder? No
Dude,
offense.
Jared Sullinger was looking like me out there,
I
dude.
know,
That dude
dude.
had a stomach.
How
I thought he
can you
was
not love that?
pregnant.
Okay, so let's move on to the next NBA topic, and then we'll get into some more fun ones. JJ Redick is in charge of the Lakers now, and here's what I'm gonna say. JJ
No one
Redick is very, like, don't him and LeBron have a podcast together? Like, they're very close. They seem to be, like, very close. And so my biggest fear for JJ is that he might choke or gag while he's in LA. That's my biggest fear, given how close they are, dude.
That, bro.
That's just what I'm worried about.
Dude, you know what's messed up, dude? I didn't even go to the top layer. I went right to the second layer.
I'm just saying, like, if the Lakers fall apart, they're gonna have a really hard time.
Well, and dude, JJ is put in a weird position because they made it very clear that Dan Hurley was who they wanted. They offered him, the contract was public relatively, and Dan Hurley was like, no. So JJ Redick is second fiddle, which is whatever. But I don't know. I think JJ Redick's very smart. But I think it is weird that he's blurring those professional and like
can they continue to do their podcast? I would think not.
Dude,
I don't see how that would work.
You gotta see the literature.
I mean, but
gotta see the contract. But
it's not even the literature. It's more just like, how is that gonna work? Like, let's just do it from like an optics point of view. So like the Lakers go out for a big game on national TV against the Celtics, and JJ puts together a game plan, but obviously, again, because LeBron and him are, cuddle buddies, like, they do it together, whatever, they get beat by 25, 30 points, they're going to go out, that's a Friday night game, they're going to record their podcast on Saturday?
My biggest fear is LeBron and him agree on a lot of, like, basketball tactics. Like, if you've listened to clips of the podcast, I've never listened because, I mean, they're way above my head and what they speak about.
Why would you even? No, they're not. They just act like they are. But let me assure you that, first of all, like, JJ is the conceded MVP of the sports world right now. Go ahead. No, there's way over our head. Oh, they talk about things we could never understand. Not people like them. Give me
you can understand, but like,
give me a break on that one.
Give me a visual.
Give me a break of that Kit Kat bar. Give you a visual.
Do you know
what
a Spain pick and roll is?
I don't care.
What they break down on the thing.
I can understand it,
dude.
Oh my gosh. No,
Yeah, actually, the Spain pick and roll is pretty basic. You're gonna piss me off. I don't know. Like, we'll see. If I were an NBA coach, I would never take a job right now for the Lakers. You're expected to win with a team that has their second best player is 40 years old.
Is Anthony Davis their best player?
I think if they need to be a championship contender, I think he has to be.
I worry about that guy's knees. Like, I just feel like that guy's knees are gonna pop. Like, and he's just so tall. Like, when you're that big, I don't know.
You should DM him on Twitter. Dude, I'm really worried about your knees.
Dude, I'm worried about your knees, bro. And I'm also worried about
I don't know. JJ Redick, I like him.
Yeah, of course you do.
You hate him.
I know you love him because he's your approach to becoming an NBA coach, which is just telling everyone in the league that they're a Hall of Famer, and just talk about a random, like, being able to talk about basketball things and being willing to talk about them and being super arrogant, like, oh well, you don't know about the Spain pick and roll, so it's kind of like tough to do. And like,
you're gonna piss me off.
And then people,
you're gonna piss me off,
dude. That's how people sell, like, self-help tapes. Is they're like, oh well, I'm better than you. Here's why. And you like that, dude. It's all right. You're a salesperson. That's where you. That's so. Let me sell you on something else. I want you to imagine something, okay? You're 69. You're on a plane. You're towards the end of your football career. So you're a Patriots coach, but you see the end's in sight. You get on a plane, and sitting next to you is a lovely 21-year-old. Turns out philosophy major. She's writing a paper. You two strike up a delicious conversation about philosophy, right and wrong, good and evil. You're 69, she's 21. You sign her philosophy book,
That's what
whatever.
Bill Belichick did.
And then a couple years later, you're out of the NFL. You break up with your long-term girlfriend, and you call up that 23-year-old and say, "Hey, how's it going? You're 72 now. I don't know. What do you think, Nick? Does this sound kosher? Does this sound good to you? What do you think about this?"
That's what Bill Belichick did.
Well,
so,
what do you think about it? They're
Look,
arm in
dude.
arm in Nantucket right now. Like, they're out and about. 72,
Look,
24.
Look, here's what I'll say. Get that bag, 24-year-old. That's what I'm going to tell you. Bill Belichick, creepy as hell. But the 24, get your bag, girl. Go get it.
Well, so here's what I'm going to tell you. So there was I had like it open on my Safari this morning, or like from the other day. And it was just like Google, like Bill Belichick, girlfriend, whatever. And I opened it up today and like clicked enter just to refresh the search. And there was a new article from today that Jordan Hudson's 64-year-old ex defends her amid Bill Belichick relationship. AKA, this girl's working the senior services market out here, okay? She's out there working it. So you don't need, so this is it. So you're not even thinking about Bill Belichick. You're just going to say for the girl, like, good for her. Getting that bag, like, this is clearly a money-grabbing type of thing. Is that how you see this?
Dude, it's
you don't
not
think
like
she's,
Bill
like,
Belichick's
super
a good-looking
respectful
dude.
and just thinks, like, my gosh, like, that old people breath and that sweet, like, cologne that he uses, like, gosh, it just gets me going. You don't think it's like that?
Dude, the pheromones are probably rolling, but it's the smell of money, dude.
Interesting. All right, so you think this
it
is
ain't
a
the
money
smell
play.
of the cologne.
Well, here's what I'm going to say.
Dude, how could it not be? How could it not be?
Dude, I don't know.
It's
I
not
really
like
don't
he's
know.
like this shredded 65-year-old dude who
He ain't
like
shredded. That's for damn sure.
Dude, he looks like me, which is not a good thing. And he's miserable all the time.
Do you think this will impact his ability to get it? Like, do you think, Fox or whatever will look at this, NFL teams will look at this and be like, dude, like, you clearly got some, you're not ready you're not focused on football. Like, you're not, go do your thing. Like, does this affect that aspect of his life?
I don't think so.
Should it?
I mean, I don't think so.
Interesting.
Why should it? Why do you think it's it's his relationship?
Because I
no
think
one would bat an eye if she was 50.
Well,
or 40.
Is there
or even
a difference
35.
between a 24-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 50 or 40-year-old, or even a 35-year-old? Like, here's what I'm gonna say.
Look.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm so glad that the voting age is 18. Good job. Driving age is 16. Okay, I mean, sometimes I see 16-year-olds behind the wheel, and I'm like, there's a child driving that car. Now that I'm almost 34, Nick. A 21-year-old, like, that's not a full-grown adult. Like, 25 is, like, I would say, now you're, and I'm just saying from life experience, like, when you're 25 and before, and listen, even when you're 30 and below, it's a different experience. I mean, that's part of, like, I feel like this phase of our lives is, like, every year, really, you're like, wow, I'm a different person than I was. But, like, I don't know, dude. I don't think it is.
She's 24.
Okay, but they met when she was 21, and who knows if she was dating this, 64-year-old at that time, but, like, I'm sorry, like, if you're an older dude macking on, like, a girl that young, like, you haven't taken a human development course, you don't, like, the things that we're tapped into as teachers, I don't know, like, it's not, I know it's legal, but it's not great.
It's icky.
It's icky. It's very icky. It's very
Dude,
icky.
I saw some old dude spitting game to a girl at a bar, and then all of a sudden, I mean, you're going to have to cut this, but I'll tell you, is at the bar.
Sweet Jesus Christ. Well, here's what I'm going to say. That's exactly the type of thing this is the thing with the world right now that I think is the most unfortunate part of like the progress we've like made or whatever is like the backlash. Like I feel like it's now like after Me Too, it's like now talking about, you know, these sorts of things and how appropriate they are feels sometimes a little bit more tense and difficult. Like now that Barack Obama and we've talked about race and George Floyd and stuff, now it feels like talking about that stuff is like I mean, look at Florida. They cut the DEI like classes and some of that. So now it's like somehow it feels like we can talk less about that stuff like in the current climate. So what I'm just going to say is this is like there's just no like again, just think about your own ethics and standards, like your own individual ethics. Like you would know that you're doing something icky as a 70-year-old talking to a girl that young. And like there's just like as a dude, like there's things to say and plays you can make to like, you know, pick up girls, whatever. And when you're dealing with like all the things that would come with being Bill Belichick, like it's icky. It's not morally vigilant. All right, that's what I'm gonna say. It's not morally vigilant. That's my opinion. Fine, whatever.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, and if we're like, okay, whatever, then fine. But like, it's a thumbs down for me. And for me personally, if it was my team, I'd just be like, I'm not bringing that. Like, that girl's gonna start showing up at the facilities? Ugh. And then what happens when, like, if you're saying what you're saying, fine. If you were that girl and, okay, fine, you're going for the bag, and then all of a sudden you're around, like, athletes who have that much money but aren't 72 years old, like, yeah, I think it, yeah. No,
well, here's her play, dude. And if I were the girl, here's my play. All right? Dude, you finesse, bro. You get married. I think she's got to get married, right?
There's no way that he's that stupid. God, that would be crazy.
So, but this is her play, bro. They're going to get married. Now, the chances of no prenup are low, but you got to play the odds here, right? Like, people will still throw out a plus 10,000 parlay. You never know. So, she gets married, no prenup. Bill Belichick's old, man. That dude, and he's not a beacon of health. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, but here's what I'm gonna tell you. Dude, he's got 10 more years left. He's an 80. He's gonna be 80.
But here's what I'll tell you, dude. Now look, I don't condone it, so don't come at me. It's very easy to cheat in today's society, especially if she's going to the facilities. You know what I mean? So let's just say pipe is being laid, okay? Not by Bill Belichick. And so her needs are being fulfilled monetarily, sexually, probably not emotionally. She's 24, like whatever. But dude, at 24, all I cared about was money, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not true.
I mean, I hear you, but again, from the like, and listen, who cares about the world? I used to think we were all trying to be here, making it a better place, but that was all lies from my childhood.
What an idiot!
I'm sorry, I believed it when they said that. But here's my thing: is it's like, how are we going to make a better world if this is the type of stuff we're doing here? Like, what's going on? What are we doing here? Come on, guys. Come on. I don't know.
Look, there's a play. We'll see what she does. It might be the long game, but I'm rooting for her. Right. Not rooting for Bill Belichick, but I'm rooting for her. Go get your bag. I'm not going to hate on someone bag chasing.
All right. Interesting. I mean, I will say the fact that her ex is a 64, like the fact that I will just say that her 64-year-old ex thought it would be helpful to come forward. Like that does not make her look better, in my opinion. Like,
I mean that's
like
OD,
another
bro.
rich old man being like, she's not a gold digger. She was my girlfriend. Like, oh, honey, like just because you're 64 doesn't make you like a spring chicken, my dude. Like you're AARP. You're paying a discount at the movie theater. Like, don't you get it? I'm just saying, like, you are paying a discount at the movie theater.
Here's what I'll tell you, dude. I would much rather go to work and earn my money that way than hang out with Bill Belichick.
Well, that's the other thing that I'll just say is I do think the life lesson here is like, trust me, when the documentary comes out, this ain't the path. This ain't the path. Oh, speaking of which, there's some crazy stuff on Netflix right now. But all right, I mean, I have some things listed here. Here's one thing I want to touch on. I think clouds are underrated, dude. I think clouds are tremendous. Like, not an overcast day where it's just like complete cloud coverage, but on a day when you're getting those beautiful, I want to say cumulonimbus, but I know that's a rain cloud, but like those big, beautiful, fluffy ones, dude. Like, you never hear anyone traveling around the world to go see the different clouds that will be in different places, and I just think it's a real oversight. I think clouds are chef's
Are there
kiss.
different clouds in different places?
Well,
There's no shot, dude.
well,
Every cloud, no.
well, this is what I'm gonna say, dude. Is like, I do think that the way, like, they're probably exactly my point. I bet there is more distinction between this place and that place with the clouds, but we're never looking, dude. I think this is something that science has missed. I think it's under researched, it's underfunded, and I got a real issue with it. Like, this is my point, dude, is I think I want to be the first cloud scientist. I don't want to be a meteorologist. I want to be a cloud tracking, features of clouds, dimensions of clouds. If I was a painter, I would paint clouds. Like, I just love clouds, dude. And I don't think they get what they deserve. So I'm just making that stand right now.
You know what I will say, dude? Been watching Perfect Match. Dom is on it again. Dude, he's getting canceled.
Why would he do?
So it's a strategic dating show, and you didn't watch the first season, right?
No.
So the first season, he was very much like, he went in it with like, and he's very you in the aspect of like women first, like you're a queen, like, but he went in it and was like, I found my person, like I'm not gonna be selfish, like I'm gonna put the women first, right? The second season, he did not make it very far. He lasted like 2 or 3 episodes, and he like went on a date, and they were like cool, but he was like open and honest. He's like, look, I want you to try to date someone else. Like, I can't give you all this stuff, blah blah blah. I want to pursue other people, and he was open and honest, dude. And he's getting canceled for it. I'm like, dude, what? On a strategic dating show where the winner gets like a all expense paid trip to like anywhere in the world, he's like, I want you to go get your bag, honey, but I am not into you. And he got ripped out. He got ripped a new one for it. Because you got to watch it because
was he disrespectful?
No, he very much was like so in the show you get to like bring matches in, like you get to pick people, and he was like, I want you to pick a date. Like, I don't want to be with you. Like, and he wasn't disrespectful, but she was like, she gave him mad attitude. Gotta watch it.
All right.
Gotta watch it.
But, it has been popping up. I'll also just say Caitlin Clark and the Fever are putting a little run together here, dude. So now's the time. Her and Aaliyah Boston are hooking up. Caitlin Clark's becoming not just a 3-point shooter, but a real distributor at a professional level. Now's the time to be talking about Caitlin Clark. So just wanted to give her little one since last episode. Are you watching the Euros at all?
England sucks.
Dude, I could do a whole thing on England, dude. They really are. And you know what it is? It's their coach. He's got a bad mentality. That's what the problem is. So anyway, knockout stages are coming. This week is the last week of the group stages. So I will say, if you haven't watched any Euros, watch it this week because it's about to get nice and spicy in the group stages. Dude, England, even if they advance, they're going to get knocked out very early because they are the definition of a collection of very good players that don't know how to play as a team. And Gareth Southgate needs to be fired as the England manager. Like, it needs to happen. He is the issue.
You think?
I'm telling you, because I don't know how much people want to hear about this, but they looked, I don't know if you watched the game against Denmark, but they came out, they scored a goal. It was kind of it was nice, a little ping pong, but then it, found Harry Kane's feet. It was like great start. It's like 20 minutes in, and they completely just got to like the Celtics, like, we're better than you and we're up 1, so it's time for you to give up mentality, and Denmark didn't. They fought really hard. And I mean, their goal was insane, but like, no, dude, England, they don't have it, and I like it's partially the players. I mean, listen, Tottenham Harry Kane strikes again. I mean, this is classic like I mean, look at Bayern Munich this year. Like, even though he broke all these records, they didn't win anything, and like. So I think eventually we're going to have to ask questions of Harry Kane, even though I know folks like you don't like to do that. But eventually we're going to have to start asking those questions. And then here's the thing, like, again, Denmark? Really? Sorry, but no. Denmark should not be.
Christian Eriksen, come on now.
Listen, love Denmark, but, like, no. I think they had, like, 2 shots on goal. They might have only had 1, which was the goal. So, no. England's much better than that, but they're done.
The best team I've watched is Spain.
I was going to say.
Spain looks incredible.
Spain looks really, really deadly right now. France will
have
to
that
see
16-year-old kid.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he looks really good. So, anyway, yeah, the Euros are good. So, if you aren't watching that, you should definitely check in. And then, yeah, I mean, I will tell you.
I want to give a quick shout out to my boy, Romelu Lukaku, my favorite player of all time.
Romelu Lukaku?
Yeah. Shut up. He has 3 goals disallowed.
I know. In that first game I watched because Belgium went down a goal, and you know me, dude. When a team goes down a goal early on and they're favored to start, you know what happens. So I'm like jumping in on that. Gosh, those disallowed goals were brutal, but they were actually not goals. So yeah, Belgium's another team that, again, it just starts to call into question like Kevin De Bruyne. Like, how much is he, like the major Champions League final with Chelsea? He got injured. Or maybe he didn't even play, which they lost. The Champions League final against Real Madrid that they won. Wasn't that Real Madrid the year before? Who did they beat in the Champions League? Whoever it was, KDB got hurt.
It was Milan. It was Milan.
Oh, right. Oh, my gosh. But yeah, so anyway, Belgium's a team that should be performing way better than they do. And, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how the knockouts go. I think the Netherlands are another team that might, I mean, they're always kind of scary and make some noise, but...
Here's what I'll tell you. Van Dijk is the best defender in the world, and you cannot argue. Dude, he makes it look so easy. Like, he's never in a hurry. He's never rushing.
No, dude.
I'm like, dude, he's so smooth.
He's got great
style. Now, I would get by him, but, I mean, dude, look at me.
I was thinking about the other day, you got good little feet for a big guy. I mean, you got big feet, but you have some nice little, you're not afraid to get the ball moving. You know what I mean? It doesn't stay glued with you. And always appreciate that. But okay, let's do one last thing. So last week, we talked about me being in the elevator and my elevator superiority. And we talked about how I'm now going to, when people offer to push the button, I'm going to go, oh, no, don't worry, I'll get it. And so, hadn't really had much of an opportunity to have it happen, but it finally happened. There was a guy, and he's like, don't worry, I got it. Gave him a big smile, pushed the penthouse, dude, and he did this and I wish I could replicate it. Like, I've tried, but it was like I have to say it in multiple words, but it was like, oh, okay, oh, all right. It was just an O, but it was like, oh, okay, the penthouse, really? Oh, okay. Oh, I can't press your penthouse button for you? All right. And I was like, wow, there was so much in that O, and like, there it is. So anyway, just following up on that, we talked about it, how much people are going to hate if I'm like, no, I'll push the button. This was one case where he definitely had some feelings. If I had a way to try, like a little sensometer, let me tell you, it would be blinking.
Now, does everyone own in that building, or are there people that rent?
No, there's renters and owners. So that's the other side of it too. That's a good point. We're an owner too, so there's all sorts.
Yeah,
of
I would have told him I don't want his pour on my button.
I'm telling you, like I was so thrown off by the O. I was like, oh, sorry, my friends.
Dude, and I got to bring this up again, dude. Miss me with all my food takes. All right, miss me with them. Here's what I'm going to tell you.
People still coming at you?
Dude, people were coming at me yesterday, dude. On Jeannie's friend's birthday, man. Miss me with that, bro.
What'd they say?
Dude, dude, he was like crinkle cut fries or F tier, bro. First off, we didn't even know what the fries we had were, and we put them in F tier, bro. So mix me with that crinkle cut are your quintessential basic fry. And you know what? Bringing it back to the cereal tier list, Honey Nut Cheerios. Dude, I will fight anyone. Swear to God,
Oh,
and I'll
they're
give
S
them an
tier.
option.
No, Honey Nut Cheerios
They're-
is S tier. What are they saying? F?
Dude, they're saying C, bro.
No, but that just shows that, most people out there aren't really tapped in to the world around them and aren't really present. Because if you're present during a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios, like, come on now. That's just
Dude, the
ridiculous.
only one I'll bow to, and I reluctantly, is the sauce tier list. All right, that's the only one I'll be like, you know what, you have a point. But reluctantly.
Specifically, or
I don't know, ranch. I don't know.
Oh,
I put every. Dude, I either love
you're
a
not
sauce
a
or hate
sauce guy though, so that was the thing with even you recommending it. I was like, but you don't even use, dude. This guy, everyone, like, we're looking at this. There's this corner market right down the street where we order sandwiches. So I'm like, dude, let me get you lunch, like, which doesn't happen the other way around that often. But anyway, so I'm like, let me get you lunch, dude.
Oh, here we go.
Like, what do you want? And he's like, do they have a chicken cutlet sandwich? I'm like, nah, it looks like you're gonna have to look at the menu. And he's like, well, there's a chicken parm. So just give me a chicken parm. Give me a chicken parm without the sauce. And that's like one of those things where it's like, is that allowed? A chicken parm without the sauce? Do they even like, is that even a thing? Like, where is there, because here's my thing, like, is there even a way to separate the chicken and the sauce? Like, I guess there is, because they give it to you and it's great for you. But yeah, it's just funny because for someone who would eat like a chicken parm without the sauce, which just, I mean, again, it just feels like, feels a little sacrilegious to me. But listen, I mean, it's, you do you, dude. I respect.
Yo, listen to this, dude. At Southern, where I went to college, there was like this place where you could get like meatball grinders and whatever. Dude, you know what I used to make them do? This is how much I hate tomato sauce. I used to make them like what's the word? Like
scrape?
No, like they would ladle the meatball out, and I used to make them dump the sauce out and then put the meatball.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you eat like spaghetti?
Yeah.
Like spaghetti?
But I don't want tomato sauce. You like Alfredo, vodka.
Ugh. Well, but vodka's just tomato sauce with cream in it.
Yeah, but it's orange. So it's not the same thing.
Is it a color thing?
I don't know. Dude, I don't know. Tomato sauce. Yeah, I think it spans from like, I don't like tomatoes, right? Like,
oh, wow. Okay, interesting.
Sliced tomatoes.
Do you eat ketchup?
Like salsa? Okay, that's not a tomato.
I'm just asking.
I'm going to punch a hole in the wall. All right? You're going to piss me off. Do I like ketchup? Name one American who doesn't like ketchup. No.
Paul Beacott hates ketchup.
Just my hands are up. All right? I hope that dude shot a 140 yesterday.
Yeah, he actually played really well.
No. I don't like tomatoes to the point where, dude, I'm gonna get roasted for this, but I'm gonna say it like for like salsa, I'll just dip the chip in and get it like wet and then eat it.
No, I think there's definitely. I will say this, like, and I don't know why, but Melanie, when she uses sauce, she puts so little sauce on like whatever it is she's dipping that I'm like, dude, there's no way that's impacting the flavor. And I've never said this, but it's like every time I see her dip and just do like the tiniest dip, I'm like, there's so much sauce that's going to get thrown away at the end of this. And like sauce is gold. I mean, sauce really is, that's, I wasn't a sauce guy for a long time. And now I realize that really a lot of the time food is a vehicle for sauce, as it should be. Like that's where the flavor is.
No. But yeah, so I have an aversion, dude, like on sandwiches, no tomato every time. I don't know, man. I didn't
realize you were so against tomatoes. So when I studied abroad in Jordan, I went for like a week with like the Bedouin like desert people, and when we were with them, they took us like to their like vacation spot, and it was like, I mean, God knows where, but like this lush, beautiful farmland in Jordan, and it was a tomato farm. And a bunch of us were actually like, we had colds. We were like a little sick. And tomatoes are super high in vitamin C. So we would go out. We were like sent out the first day we were there to go pick like 200 tomatoes, like however many you can get. And they were just like beautiful, these big, lush tomatoes on these vines. And we were just crushing them, dude. Just eating tomatoes. And the next day we all woke up cured, feeling amazing. So it's just like, I hear you. Here's the thing. A lot of the times the tomatoes that are in the grocery store are terrible. So I get you. But if you had seen these tomatoes, these were tomatoes of the gods, dude. Let me tell you what.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I lack a lot of my vitamins, I'm sure, based on my diet. But you don't get 6'4" with a hunchback and weigh 280 by not eating something. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it right.
Well, we're going to work out this summer, so we're about to get huge. So huge, tight, huge. Like tight. Like not lose weight, just tighter. You know what I'm saying? Knocked Up. That's like the best part in that movie. Saying. Just stand on the scale and then take that number and just minus 10 from it. We're not saying to lose weight, but just tighter. That's like one of my favorite scenes in that movie.
What movie is that?
Knocked Up. Which I'm going to tell you what. Yeah. And now we're like completely off schedule, but long story short, basically we do a Zoom thing and we have 45 minutes. And so maybe you could sense we were running out of time, but then we just opened up a new one. So now the time is wide open. So here's what I'm going to say. None of the Judd Apatow movies aged well at all. Like the Seth Rogen, Judd Apatow's, we watched them recently. None of them I think I would feel an urge to like put on again. And if I did, I just know I'd be disappointed again. Like they were, for some reason, when those first came out, they were like I mean, that was my senior year in high school. Like so funny. Oh my gosh. Dude, I gotta tell you, like watch Knocked Up and different, just like, this is.
Never seen it.
It's not good. Oh, Knocked Up is, well, I want to say it's great. It's not great, but it was great.
Dude, you know what movies age well? Steve Carell's movies, dude.
Oh, 40-Year Virgin is a great movie. Great film, if you will.
Yeah, that's not a movie. That's a film, dude. There is a difference.
All right. Well, sorry we don't have a tier list for everyone today. I feel like now people are going to be upset that we didn't do a tier list.
Here's what I'll tell you.
We were doing too many of them.
Hit me up.
Dude.
We will sponsor you.
Propel?
Dude, okay. We're doing a drink tier list next week. I've already decided. You're Propel? Dude. If you don't like Propel, dude, I can't be messing with you. Here's what I'm going to say.
If you drink, and you do this, so
I'm about to rip my earphones off.
If you drink, like, flavored water, like, what are you doing? I got this stuff right here. It's called regular water. It's just in my regular water bottle. Tastes delicious, okay? The other thing, Paul just texted me right before we came on, and we're going to do a gallon a day challenge. You know how much ounces of water a gallon is? That's 128. That's like 5 of these effing things. Ugh.
Dude, enjoy peeing, man.
I was just going to say. All right, but no, we can do a flavored water tier list.
No. Do you like Gatorade?
You know, here's what I'm going to say. I did, and then last year, I was at a bachelor party, and we like did way more exercise than I was ready for, and like, you know, played a bunch of games, whatever. We're up at a field with no sun protection, like just, you know, while, you know, doing all the things that you'd be doing at a bachelor party. Like, so we go to a gas station, and I'm like, dude, if there was ever a time for a Gatorade, it's right now. And it was so like sugary and like sweet. I was like, ugh, this is like syrup. Yeah, so I was a little turned off by the experience, to be honest.
So you're a salty over sweet guy. Like you would much rather have a salty snack.
I have such a sweet tooth. It's insane. It's just like with the drinks. I don't like feeling like I'm drinking sludge. And like that's
I want to feel my teeth evaporate as I drink.
The problem is when you look at the sugar and it's like, if it's over 22, how many grams of sugar in that?
0.
Okay.
Idiot. It's Propel.
Then how is it sweet then?
Because they put sodium hexametaphosphate.
What the heck is that?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you read the label and you don't know what the first 5 ingredients are, you shouldn't eat it. But I'll tell you, if you don't know what the first 5 ingredients are, it usually tastes damn good.
All right, well, listen, we'll pick this up next week. We love y'all. We hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Go Celtics, except we're only halfway through their championship because they needed 2 for 1. They're a 2 for 1 right now. It doesn't really feel like they've done what they needed to do. I'll leave it on this. We have a legal issue, okay, in this country. And it's hard to police. I know there's all sorts of back and forth on policing in America, whatever. But here's something that is really hard to police. And it's these motorcycle drivers who weave within traffic. And there's just like... Oh. And here's what I'm going to say. Like, what are you
It's legal in Connecticut.
Well, here's what I'm going to say about that. It's legal because it's unenforceable. It's legal because you can't do anything about it. If there was a solution, I don't think that it would be super legal. I just think it's legal because they don't know what else to do. So it just is like, might as well let them, it's a concession law, in my opinion. But here's what I'm going to tell you. The great vigilantes, Batman, Spider-Man, identified issues in their environment and found ways to solve those problems. So I have a couple of solutions. You know how Patrick and SpongeBob catch the jellyfish in the jellyfish nets? So what about big nets that could come out of your car, both on the right and the left? So when they try, boom, they hit that net, you got them. You got the perk. Okay? That's one.
My buddy just opens the door.
Well, the problem with opening the door is then you're going to damage your vehicle. But he actually opens the door. That's an American hero right there. Like, he opens it early enough that they realize, like, I can't go that way.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if you all are frequent listeners, you know that I one time pulled over in the breakdown lane to stop someone from going, and everyone turned against me in the traffic and made me out to be the bad guy. So I got to say, your buddy, American hero. Tell me it's Lucas Alloway.
No, it's not.
But it's a big problem. So I'm just going to say this. If you drive a Harley and you're one of the loud Harley people, I'm less annoyed by that. I'm annoyed by it, but whatever. But if you're a weaving motorcycle driver, I hope you stub your toe every day. Like, no, I hate you.
I hope you forget your password, go to change your password, and then it says you can't use the same password.
Oh, love it. It shouldn't be legal. And Connecticut has capitulated to these folks. All right? And I'm not okay with it. So that, you know what?
Dude, what a way to end it.
I'm putting you on notice. Okay? And for all you
Bring the net doors.
And if you're listening to this on a motorcycle changing lanes, I hope Nick's friend is out there and opens a door right in front of you. Okay? Ugh. Despicable. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy, dude.
But if you were on a motorcycle, no, you wouldn't do it. You'd wait. I'd do it.
Well, let me hit you with this. I was in traffic on Friday, and so it was right on like 91 where the Charter Oaks Bridge is, or where before you get onto 91, like 84 to get over to 91. And there's the HOV lane, but I was by myself. And I'm telling you, dude, like there was traffic, and then it started thunderstorm raining, and it was like, now there's traffic and everyone's going slow. And I kept seeing people going to the HOV lane. I'm like, I know you're by yourself. Like, stop it. But after 20 minutes, I was like, I gotta get home. It was a 4.5 hour drive from New Hampshire because of all the traffic. So it would have been closer to 5 hours if I hadn't done that. So yeah, no, but you're right. I think I want to say I wouldn't, but here's the thing. I'll leave you with a Nietzsche quote. Power, I'm totally going to mess it up, but basically, unlimited power corrupts. Okay? Power corrupts. So if I had the power to weave through lanes like these motorcyclists do, I'd probably do it. That's human nature, Nick. Okay? Sorry. But at least I can admit it.
That's what the great vigilantes can do, man. Admit it.
Exactly. All right. Well, hope you all enjoyed that. If you're on a motorcycle, don't weave through traffic. And if you're not on a motorcycle, open those doors. Just so they know right away. Just one
time, man.
Just so they know. Not like right before, but open it up while you're waiting. And that way they'll know from a distance that I have to weave somewhere else. And if we all do that, Maybe we can have the harmony we all deserve in this country and in this world. Okay? How about that? All right, well, we'll see you guys. I want to say next week. I don't know. You'll see us the next time you see us. So I hope you're all having a great summer, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Peace.